Good morning, good afternoon, or good whatever time of day it is for you when you are watching this, but the news is correct in that we are getting a few of the weapons that we have been asking for ages in the space of Helldivers. I'll get into a few more, I'm sure you can see the obvious ones, but I'll go ahead and play the trailer for you right now in case you have not seen it. Right off the rip, we do have a list of everything we are getting officially. 3 brand new stratagems and a new primary, so get ready for that. The front page, of course, the thing that everyone will likely be talking about, the new M1000 Maxigun, belt-fed, ultra-high ammo capacity. Now, unfortunately, I can see this only being light penetration as a way to balance it. Now, I know we would all think that it is the minigun, it should be hefty penetration, it should be shredding. But in real life, there is variance in different calibers to miniguns. There is some that are bigger than others. So it kind of makes sense if this one would be only light penetration because it is a handheld one and not a mounted one that has way more recoil. So that may be a drawback, but at the same time, that is just kind of the way Helldivers is. Things that are way more powerful in terms of their performance usually are light penetration weapons, so you have to be more accurate as opposed to just dumping the rounds. While that is the kind of definition of a minigun, I am still excited we have a backpack support fed minigun nonetheless. Now, next up is going to be, well, actually, no, that's another picture of the minigun. But next up is the Hot Dog, which is basically the flamethrower version of the Guard Dog, which is something that I was kind of expecting never to exist, because I thought when it came to stratagems, it was going to be, how do I say this? There was only going to be 2 of the 3. Like, we had the handheld flamethrower and we have the sentry gun flamethrower. I thought because of that we wouldn't have the guard dog flamethrower. And you kind of get what I mean, because we have the arc thrower, we have the guard dog that is an arc thrower, but we don't have a sentry gun that's an arc thrower. You see what I mean? I thought there was only going to be 2 of the 3 versions of variety that would get to the various attachments for it. But instead, that is proven false, because now we actually do have the guard dog flamethrower that is likely to... Well, I'm hopeful for it, but at the same time, I definitely see this going poorly against your friends, just like the guard dog canine. Then next up, we have the defoliation tool, which is not going to be used for foliage at all. This is going to be a essential chainsaw sword that we will just be using to chop up everything in our way. And need I say more? It just looks freaking cool. Literally, chainsaw sword. It looks as Helldive as it can be without ripping off too much from 40k, and I am here for it. Next up is the primary. The Python Commandos get the ARGL 2112, which looks heavy. It looks like it could be a medium pen weapon. It looks more scarish in comparison to real life weapons, but at the same time, it does come with an Underbarrel 40mm HE grenade launcher, which is good because we are finally getting into that territory of weapons that can have natural grenade launchers. Which, does that mean other weapons can get a retroactive attachment? Maybe sometime in the future. Will we certainly get more grenades in the tube? Hard to say. They just showed an HE off the bat. They didn't say if there was a smoke grenade, a caustic gas grenade, thermite grenade. They didn't say there was any different variations or inserts for the grenades yet, but at the same time, it will be handy. I'm a little bit cautious about the 40mm because it looked like it was no bigger than just the grenade launcher's grenade in practice, which at that point, it's really not going to do much for you in the way of the combat feel, especially if you only have like 1 or 2 grenades as opposed to like 8. But here's hoping there is a handy amount of grenade launcher rounds you can carry with you so you can actually feed that grenade launcher and use it effectively. Next up is the various armors and capes, which, since this is kind of a Viper Commandos Part 2, there is another set of sleeveless armor skins coming with this one. Let's see if they have, let's see, I'm not sure, well, there is a bit of references, but let's see. Here we go. New passive, rock solid passive, which makes your Helldiver more steadfast against staggering and ragdoll attacks. Interesting. I was kind of expecting them to just do the peak physique part 2, but no, that is actually a different kind of peak physique that I appreciate going for. Then again, actually, now that I look at it, only one of the armor sets is a sleeveless one. Then with that, there is also the front-leaning rest position emote, and give him 20 anytime. I'm guessing that's the push-up one we saw in the trailer. Python Commandos also includes the chameleon camo pattern for your FRV, exosuit, hellpod, and shuttle. Finishing touch is to get the whole team coordinated with the Python Commando player title and organize a swift strike on anything that stands between you and extraction. The Warbond itself is dropping on December 2nd, and as this is not like the legendary Warbonds, I imagine this is going to be costing the usual 1,000, and it also doesn't seem like there's anything going into the Superstore either. At least, yeah, so far nothing seems to be going into the Superstore. So right here, this is the total Warbond of Python Commandos. Like I mentioned, that Beast of Prey, what looks to be heavy armor, and the Constrictor, supposedly medium armor. The ARGL-21 1-2, which is an AR with a grenade launcher mounted on the underside. The 3 stratagems included the M1000 Maxigun, basically a minigun. The Defoliation tool, which is basically a chainsaw sword. And the Guard Dog Hot Dog, which is a guard dog with a flamethrower attached to it, as well as a bunch of various other chameleon jungle pattern skins for our various modes of transportation. The rock solid armor passive on each of the new armor sets. 2 new capes to mark with them, which are looking very jungle-y, as well as player banners, the basic push-up emote, and the player title of Python Commando. So if you're thinking this looks very similar to Viper Commandos, you'd be Captain Obvious. But at the same time, you know, there had to be some kind of redo part 2. Then again, if there was ever to get a Warbond that deserved a part 2 to get better stuff out of it, I think Viper Commandos would count, because while the Liberator Carbine is indeed good, it is basically just another variant of another weapon. I would have much liked to see a different weapon entirely. And this is exactly what we're getting with Python Commandos, an entirely new set of weaponry and one additional variant of a guard dog, which is always welcome. But with that, that is all that is in tune with the Python Commandos. Of course, when the Warbond itself goes out, I will be sure to cover the medals, costs, and everything else like that to keep up with whether or not you will be in a long grind for the good weapons or if you can get some of the best ones right off the bat. With that, my name is the Mad Scorpion, and I will see you in the next video.